Sorry, Joe Pat.
Morning, Judge. Morning, Mayor.
Morning.
Coach, I've seen him eat out.
How's everybody doing this morning?
Doing good.
Fine, sir. Thank you. How about you?
I'm doing fine. I don't know if y'all can see me, but I'm on vacation. I'm out here on the golf course.
Got an early tea time?
Absolutely.
We appreciate you joining us on your vacation.
Glad to be here.
Judge, I think you're muted.
The famous mute button. So, Scott, I'd asked, how are you and everybody at the Revenue Commission?
We're fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. And we're blessed. And then Mayor Jenkins, with his situation, we'll try to move this meeting along. Do I see Gina Amos is here as a proxy for Billy Parker?
Yes, we received the proxy from Gina earlier this week. Yeah.
Okay, so if you all would like to go ahead and call this, we can call this meeting to order. And with that said, this is the Georgetown Scott County Revenue Commission meeting for Wednesday, June 26, 2024. And let the record reflect that Joe Covington, Mayor Bernie Jenkins, and Gina Amos as a proxy for Billy Parker were present. That will move us to number 3, approval of minutes from the last meeting, 5/22/2024. Those were shared via email. What questions or comments would anyone have regarding those minutes? And would there be a motion to accept as presented?
So moved.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any other questions, comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those are approved. We will move on to number 4, external audit engagement letter review and approval. Scott?
Thank you, Judge. Yes, this is from our external auditors regarding our upcoming audit this fall. This is addressed to me and the Board of Commissioners as always. This is pretty much boilerplate. There is one item here. The fee I thought was going to go up a little bit. I put that in the budget, but they are keeping it the same. So it will still be $23,000 this year. So I've adjusted the budget that we're going to discuss later to reflect that. Judge, I'm going to be sending some checks over for you later today. Included in that will be this letter. The last page I've already signed and dated. You will need to do the same. Then I'll get it scanned and sent off to the auditors. The tentative start date is Monday, August the 26th. And I believe we need a motion to accept this and move forward with it.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Motion and second. Any other questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is approved. Thank you, Scott. We have one refund. Scott, will you give us a little detail and we'll go from there?
Yes, this is, as you can see, a $26,457.34 refund. You can see the city and county splits, the school board. There was no school board tax associated with this. This particular payroll tax refund request is due to this employee working at their home in Cincinnati, Ohio for all of 2023. This particular employee has now retired and will no longer be submitting refund requests. This will be their last one. So after a complete audit review, Revenue Commission staff recommends the commissioners approve this refund.
Any questions or would there be a motion?
Motion made.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any other questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. Lockbox vendor 30-day notice termination given. Scott, did you just want to make comment on that?
Yes, Judge. Actually, items 6 through 10 are just verbal updates. So there's no documents to review. We did get acknowledgement from the vendor that we are terminating our agreement with them, and they have given us some additional instructions. There's a letter I have to get out to them to close our checking account with this particular vendor. So that is moving forward in a positive fashion. So that should be done shortly.
Very good. Do you just want to take 6 through 10 one by one, Scott?
Yes, I'll just whip through those and just stop me if you have any questions. The General Counsel and Tax Compliance Analyst Search Update. These positions are posted. We already have 2 applicants. I can see them in Paycom for both the General Counsel and the Tax Compliance Analyst. The closing date for the Tax Compliance Analyst, and that's the position backfilling when we promoted John so they can take over his accounts. That one will close July 10th. That position is not only being posted through all the normal city avenues, which includes KLC. I've also gotten it posted on KCO and COLA as well. The General Counsel will be running longer. It's going to go till July 27th, and that's because we purchased a package to get on the Kentucky Bar Association through their job posting board, which will be a big boost for us. The 45-day package was the better value, so that's what we went with. Those are moving forward. And when I was at the KLC board meeting last week in Bowling Green, I talked to some of their attorneys, and they said we should get a very strong response because that Kentucky Bar Association avenue is a good avenue to look for attorneys. We should get a good response.
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Number 8 is the scanning and digitization project update. This is moving forward very rapidly in a very positive fashion, and I'll let John speak to that.
So currently we have 3,900 accounts fully digitized. That's including closed accounts that have been closed within this past year, any new accounts that are coming in, and then on top of that we have an additional 570 withholding accounts that have been digitized where we still need to get the net profit digitized. Pam has been doing a tremendous job just blowing through all these files that are coming in, getting processes set up to make sure we have the steps in order, that we're not losing any data, that we're getting everything where it's supposed to be. And then Denny and Tammy have been doing great, making sure that they're keeping up with the changes in processes as well. I've also been working on an import process with our database service provider to scan the withholdings that we have coming in, process those filings and payments automatically, and upload those into our filing system where the analysts wouldn't even have to touch them. I've been able to build out the process for that, run it through the ringer, tried to throw every kind of wrench into the works to try and get it to fail, and then going back and fixing any kind of errors that we come up with. And we're moving on to the next step with that, with getting with DB Services to just basically get that handshake between our system and their system to import that file straight in, where everything gets processed the way it's supposed to, all the payments get applied to the proper jurisdictions, and then we can move the money where it needs to go. So I actually have a meeting with them later today just to get an update on that, where we are. They've got their system ready, we've got ours ready. Now it's just a matter of getting the two processes to join together and work through.
That's a lot of work right there, 3,900 accounts. Any other questions or comments?
No.
Thank you, John. And number 9 kind of is related to this. We've already emptied 4 full file cabinets, and that's a good problem to have, because that was a happy day when the water company wheeled those out of there. I reached out to Sean Darrington, the ops manager here at the water company, and asked if they needed any file cabinets. He said, yeah, we were thinking about buying some. I said, well, I just saved you some money. Come get these if you want them. And they did. They came down and wheeled them out. And again, that was an exciting day for us. But this is moving along at a pretty good clip, and we're going to be steadily emptying these file cabinets. The water company doesn't need any more. So I'm kind of putting this out as a question. Do either of the 3 jurisdictions need any file cabinets? And if not, do you have a surplus building or something where you store chairs, furniture, things of that nature? Because what we'd like to do is, once they're all gone, then do one public auction to liquidate all of them, because it's going to be a months-long process, I would imagine, weeks long maybe, as fast as it's going. If not, we'll need to look at perhaps renting a storage facility off-site somewhere to move these cabinets out, because we'll need to get them out as they're empty, so we can utilize the space that it frees up.
I don't care to send out an email asking if anyone needs filing cabinets from the county side, and I'm sure Mayor Jenkins would do the same thing. Gina, if you all wanted to do anything like that,
do that.
be fine. Do you see a problem with that, Scott?
No, that would be great. We're going to be emptying them pretty quickly at the rate we're going. So I'd like to go ahead and get some feelers out now and find a good home for some of these.
Yeah. Well, I'll send an email out, and we'll go from there. I appreciate that update. That's a good problem to have.
Yes, it absolutely is. And then number 10 here, the repeal occupational license tax. We've had this discussion for a while now. JD Cheney from KLC asked me to present our data last week to the KLC board at our summer meeting in Bowling Green. I did. It was very well received. Some of the cities had done similar research and had similar disturbing results. And some of the other cities were glad to have the data, because they're going to start doing their own research as well. And the consensus is from KLC that, we're going to still try to pursue additional revenue options for local governments. But, if the way JD worded, if even one city is harmed by the enabling legislation that may or may not be proposed related to that, the KLC will strongly oppose that. So took a pretty strong stand. Everybody is kind of waking up to the fact that, this would be disastrous for occupational license tax to be repealed. So I will keep you informed as more information comes along with that. But they were more than one person came up after the board meeting and was very happy that I shared that data with them, because like us, they had no idea. We knew it would not be viable, but we had no idea it was that bad. So,
Scott, would you care to share that slide deck with me?
Yes, it's actually I think I've already sent it to all 3 of you, but I may have tweaked that a little bit and added some additional information. I'll send it to all 3 commissioners as well.
Can you send it to me as well, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, Scott.
Yes, you're welcome.
You want to move on to general discussion?
Yes. So general discussion, the Cabinet for Economic Development report here. No change here, no new projects since February, and that was a training grant. So really nothing there. We did restart the financial inducements. The employer here, their fiscal year started April 1. We made that first payment in May. So nothing new yet there. It's the same every month, but we have restarted it. Last couple of months, we've had no payments. So just wanted to share that with you. Individual compliance efforts. So this is what May looked like. Tammy gets the prize for May. Boy, she really knocked it out of the park. She had $75,000 in compliance collections due to her efforts. 67% of that was payroll tax withholdings. John also brought in 712, of course, in his new role. He's not spending as much time on that. That's why we needed to get another tax compliance analyst in here. And John, I'm sorry, I've got your old job title in there. I need to update that. Denny had a good month as well with 15,000. So a good solid $91,000 in additional collections from the team here at the Revenue Commission.
Wow. Very solid. Good work. Much appreciated.
So the electronic payment summary. This is, the new report we started a couple months ago. May, we had $22,000 come in through electronic payments. As you can see, 93% of that's through the web. Only 7% was people using our sliding their card here within the office. Looks like most of it was payroll for May, 54%. Again, e-checks dominate that, 86%. Although this month, MasterCard wins the prize, and a lot more people using their MasterCards in May as opposed to it's normally Visa. And so with the 11 months rolled up here, we're at 1,335,000. So that's a lot of electronic payments. As you can see for the year, the 11 months, 98% of that's through the web, about 57% net profit, 43% payroll, and then the city regulatory fees in there. Again, year-long, 93% is e-checks dominate that category. And looks like Visa is the credit card of choice for most of the year. So just a little electronic payment data there for you.
Thank you.
And then the tax collections for May, another up month, 182,000 overall was the collections were up. It's about 4.3%. You can see the city's increase was 2.7, the county's was 5.7, and the school board was about 4.5. So another good solid increase for the month of May, which of course then takes us to the quarterly statistics. So the numbers we just went over are plugged in here, the city, county, and school board, which leaves us for the quarter up about $1.5 million with April and May in the books. And you can see through the end of May, we're at $59.2 million collected, and that's $11 million over last year. The city's collections are up 4.6, counties are up 4.5. And the school board's up a little over $2 million. I've also plugged in the actual distributions, what we've actually paid you thus far. And those numbers are the second row here. And so you can see what the actual distribution payments, and this comes from the actual reports when we send out the distributions. So again, we're an incredible year. We've already through the 18th of June collected 3.7 million. So we will exceed 60 million pretty easily by the end of June. And we've still got a couple more days of collections here to add to that. So very strong numbers, and it's been one heck of a fiscal year, and it'll be another record breaker. It'll be the first time. This is our 20th anniversary. The Revenue Commission was created in 2004. So we're going to celebrate our 20-year anniversary with another record in excess of $60 million collected.
Those are great stats and certainly help us provide the services and such to our constituents in the city and the county, and help support the school system and student learning as well. So, I mean, that's very good news and very encouraging. Any other questions or comments about that positive data?
No.
No, it's great news. It's good to be on top.
Yeah. It's good to be in that direction. That's for sure. Scott, when do you think, like you'll be able to close out quarter 4 and put a bow on all that?
Well, Friday will be the last day of collection, so I'll be looking at that next week. Wrapping up the quarterly numbers. I'll send you all out an email where we finally wound up for the month and the quarter and the year. So probably next week I'll have some data on that. I can go ahead and send it out to everybody.
Sounds great. Much appreciated.
And then the new and closed accounts, we're at 589, 5 months, this including through May, and 353 closed. That is still down a little bit from last year. But May was a good month, 116 open, only 44 closed. Compared to last year, we closed quite a bit fewer accounts in the month of May. So, but we're still averaging 118 new accounts opening per month in the first 5 months of 2024. So
Averaging 118.
Averaging 118 a month.
That's pretty remarkable.
Yep.
Very much appreciated. Any questions on that?
Nope, no questions.
I'm good here. None.
Well, that
All
wraps
right.
it up for the general discussion, which takes us to our last item here, which is our budget.
And
shared this
Scott,
with you. I'm sorry.
could I make some comments before you talk about the budget?
Sure.
I believe Gina has spoken with Superintendent Parker.
Mhm.
The one thing about the budget that we need to finalize is the percent COLA for staff. Is that correct? Scott, is there anything else other than that's really pending?
No, other than the adjustment that I talked about for the audit fee, is pretty much what you had last month, what we talked about, other than the COLAs. And when I sent you the detailed data on the staff where we currently are, I think last week or the week before.
Right.
But then I put the aggregate numbers together and put that in the budget on the COLA tab like we normally do. So when I sent that out last week, that's included on there. And I can pull that up here in a minute after you make your comment.
Yeah. But no, that I've got that pulled up myself, and I know Billy's reviewed that. And I think he's communicated with Gina. Correct, Gina?
Yes, he has.
And just looking at what we did at the county and looking at what the city and looking at what the school system did, I'm in the mindset that, and looking at just how it impacts inflation has impacted everybody. I believe the what's in line is going ahead and recommending that 8% COLA. And in my mind, it's really more of a 5% COLA and a 3% salary median adjustment, essentially, in my mind. But you can call it what you want to, but essentially it's an 8% adjustment. That's what I would be leaning towards. I'd be curious to see what Mayor Jenkins wants to share. And Mayor, how do you feel? Do you have any comment?
Well, and look at the 8%, that probably falls along the same line because we made a significant adjustment for our city employees, ourselves, and our staff. And I think with the adjustment we made, because we did a compensation study, and it was passed by council for the adjustments, and we went to a grading system where we changed the pay grades and a step grading system. We had to change all the numbers and so on. So in the big scheme of everything, it probably came out to be about an 8% increase over last year. So
No.
I'm good with the 8%. I'm good with the 8%.
All right.
Okay.
Gina, what did Billy and you all talk about? What was your all's thoughts?
He was the same way. We did 8%, and we felt like that was fair, to carry that on to the Revenue Commission as well.
So I support that as well. And I also think that will help us lock down a general counsel as well. I think that additional compensation will help in that manner as well. So, with that said, then I'm going to let Scott talk about any other, we've had time to look at this budget, and it's a conservative budget. It covers the needs. There's not a lot of, not a lot of moving pieces that's been changed or anything. So I'll let Scott make comments, but when we make a recommendation, I think whoever makes a motion to approve the budget, that it include the 8% adjustment for compensation. So Scott, can you talk about anything else you want to share about the budget for consideration, and then we can go from there?
Yes. So what I did is the reason I put these, have Stacy do it, is because I can just copy this and paste it, which I just did over into here. So now this is the budget you will be approving. And I'll send this out to everybody, Gina, Michelle, Stacy, everybody will have it. And of course, I'll need to let Megan and Deborah know at the city because they'll need to be adjusting the pay accordingly. But I've plugged that in there, and then this is the budget you'll actually be approving. So it'll be a $1.4 million budget. And then this is all what we've already discussed, other than over here in the footnotes, as I mentioned earlier, I had initially had 25,000 in here thinking it would go up a little bit, but the auditors are keeping it the same. So I made that adjustment in there as well. Other than that, it's everything we've already talked about the past 2 months. Now we just plugged in the proposed 8%. And I will say on behalf of the team here at the Revenue Commission, that's a very generous COLA. We appreciate that. It'll obviously come in handy, as you mentioned, in these inflationary times. And we're all very grateful and very happy to be recognized for the work that we do. So as always, we appreciate your support, and we appreciate this generous COLA.
Well, Scott, you all are doing great things, in my opinion, and the amount of detail, the great data, the work that you all do. Number one thing, you all help provide a service to our community, and the most important thing about providing services is having good people. And in my opinion, you have to compensate your people a fair market-based salary and wage and benefits. So I think that's what we're trying to do, and it helps us recruit and helps us retain good people. So I have no other questions or comments about the proposed budget. Are there any other questions or comments about the proposed budget? And if not, would there be a motion to accept as presented?
So moved.
I'll make a motion to accept as presented with the 8% COLA as well.
Okay, so we have a motion. We have a motion from Mayor Jenkins, a second from Gina, and then all those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All right. So with that said, then no one else opposes, so that passes. We passed the budget, passed the COLA. That's good news and good work, and helps set us up for success in the next year. Next meeting will be Wednesday, July 24th. Scott, do you have any other comments?
No, there are 5 Wednesdays in July. That's why it's the 24th. So that works for us if it works for everyone else.
Works for me. With that said, then, if there's no other business, would there be a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Well, we are adjourned, and you all have a great day. And Scott, I'll be here to sign anything that's needed to sign. I'll look for that little letter as well.
Thank you, Judge. I also have a couple of those bank reconciliation items for you to review and sign as well. That'll go over later this afternoon.
Thank you. All right.
Enjoy
Thanks,
your
everybody.
vacation, Mayor. I hope you have a hole-in-one.
All right.
Well, we came close. We came close. See ya. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.